Hi everyone, it's your girl. I'm back with another video. Today we're making Liberian meatball from scratch, okay? I have been craving meatball for a while, but I'm too lazy to drive, so let's make it from scratch, okay? So I went ahead and sifted my flour. I like to do that just in case there any excess stuff. I sifted my flour. Okay, so if you have extra stuff in there, it's not gonna be part of the things you're baking. So that's why I do that. Anyways, I'm gonna add butter. I'm gonna stir it up like I'm doing. Mix everything together with the flour and salt. I did add salt on there. Okay, because why not? And baking powder. So I added salt, baking powder, and I'm gonna add more butter. No baking powder. Scratch that. Just salt. Salt and butter. Yeah. Sorry. No baking powder. Just salt and butter. Yeah. So I'm gonna mix it up real nicely. Make sure you mix it well with the butter. And also you're gonna see that I'm gonna add more butter just cause I love when I make something, I love it to be rich and fluffy. Also, that word is my go-to. You're gonna hear me say fluffy a lot in my videos, so get used to it. Anyways, yeah, more butter. What can I tell you? You get love butter. It just make everything looks good though. So don't put me in jail, okay? Just do what I say, don't do what I do. I guess that's a very good philosophy to follow here, okay? Just know the ingredients are butter, salt, flour, and water. Okay, whatever I do in here, you don't have to do. Just do what I say. Don't do what I do. I love a lot of butter, so that's why I put a lot of butter in there. Yeah, because I love my shit to be rich. Especially since I'm making it from scratch. I did not go through all that just to not enjoy my meatball. I'm gonna enjoy my meatball, and to do that, I have to be extra with the ingredients. So now I'm gonna add some water on there. Okay, that's how it looks when you mix it with the butter. That's how it should look. That's cold water. Don't ever pour hot water, okay? I used to do that where I mix my dough and pour hot water. It makes your shape stiff. It makes it hard. So always use cold water. Cold water. The only person I've seen make donut with hot water and it doesn't go bad or look stiff is my mom. I don't know how that lady do that. I gotta ask her. Because whenever I mix stuff with hot water, it doesn't come out well. Anyways, I went ahead and mixed it up. I'm gonna keep doing that. Keep beating my dough. You see how soft that is? Did you see how my hand just went in there? Yeah, that's the cold water and butter. See how soft that is? See? I'm not a strong person. I'm a very lazy girl. So that dough is really soft. I'm not using a lot of strength. I think it might look like it, but I'm not applying pressure, like a lot of pressure. It's just because I use cold water and a lot of butter. So do with that as you will, okay? I'm gonna keep mixing my dough mix it up real nicely. And then when you're done, no, I'm not done. And that's your girl tasting. Now you gotta test the product, and it tastes good too. So I'm explaining to somebody about something, but anyways, when you do that, you put it aside, and then you get your meat ready. Put it aside. I went ahead and put my meat in the pot and chop up some onion. I'm gonna add more onions. There's a lot of onions. I love onions, but not when they're raw. You gotta cook them up to get me to eat onions, because I don't like how it makes your breath smells. So if you want me to eat onions, they gotta be cooked. I cannot eat them raw. There's no way I can do that. But people like that though, so I guess it is what it is. Anyways, let's get back to this video. I'm gonna chop up. I don't know why it took me so long to chop up the onion. Like I said, your girl's not motivated a lot. I do stuff my way. So we're gonna let that boil, I guess, and then we're gonna start adding a seasoning. First up is paprika. Yes, the one they have here. And black pepper. I love black pepper, by the way, so I'm gonna put a lot of black pepper in there. Yep. And then chicken seasoning. You can find this at Walmart, by the way. More chicken seasoning. I need my food to be flavor. Okay? I cannot deal with unflavored food. If I'm making it, it's gonna be flavor. And then when you're done doing that, go ahead and mash your meat so all of the flavor can go in there nicely. Yeah, like I'm doing. Make sure you do that. Don't leave them in chunks like that. I guess you're not gonna leave them in chunks, because how will you add the meat to the dough? Anyways, that might look like a lot of water, but just because I like my meat to be well done. So if you're somebody and you don't like your meat to be well done, you don't have to put a lot of water in there, okay? But you want the onions to be done, so I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna keep blending my meat and my seasoning. Yeah, I'm tasting it. Yep. I'm African. You gotta taste that stuff to know it. Does it taste good? You don't want that shit to be nasty. You go through hours just making nasty food for people. Anyways, yep, I'm gonna keep doing that so my meat can come together nicely too. It already looks good. It tastes good, by the way. Okay, I know it might not look like it, but trust the process. I already went ahead and made my vegetables. Yeah, they're about this size. I don't know why I didn't take a video of the vegetables, but anyways, I had corn in there. I gotta see it to know what all of the vegetables that I have. And I think I had carrots in there, if I'm not mistaken. Just chop up some vegetables is all I can say, because I can't remember for the life of me what all of it was. See, yeah, I added my vegetables already. And also, yeah, let your vegetable cook. Okay, you don't want anything to be not done. You want your stuff to taste good, so let your vegetable cook. nicely, so the seasoning can go into your vegetables as well, because you're gonna be eating all of them together. You don't want one to be seasoned and the other one is not seasoned. To make it thick, I added flour. Now, this is a little tricky because some people will add cornstarch, but I can't tell you about that because I do not know how it tastes with the cornstarch. I just know the flour makes it all blend together well and makes it thick. See? Yeah, that's what the flour does. It makes it thick and makes it blend together well. So I don't know about the cornstarch. So I might try it just because I want to know how it tastes. If you add a cornstarch to it, might just make it thick too. Yeah. My pot is not burning, by the way. It just looks like that because of the seasoning. Anyways, when you do that, you go ahead and put it off to the side, and then you start making your dough. If you watch my videos, you're gonna notice like I use stuff that you can find around the house. A lot of the things that I use when I'm baking are just stuff you can find around the house. That's not because I can't afford to get ruler or like measuring stuff, but because it's easier, convenient, and cheaper. Okay, you don't have to go the extra mile. Or you can if that's what you want to do, but like I think you should use day-to-day items when you're making food from scratch because they're convenient. Like I said, they're right there and you can just use them for free. So why would you go pay a lot of money for something you can get for free? You know what I mean? Yeah. That putting flour on the surface helped your dough not to stick to the surface. I know it's pretty much self-explanatory, but yeah. See how like smooth my dough is? Cold water and butter. Don't forget. If you forget everything on this video, don't forget to mix your dough with cold water and put butter in there because it helps make it very smooth. And it helps you too because who wanna, go through all of this and not have people eat your food? You know what I mean? You want people to eat your food and say thank you and ask you to make it again. Although they're never gonna, I might make it, but it takes a lot of time, Not everything is in the video, but it takes a lot of time. So, if you're like me and you find like just making food therapeutic, I ask that you do it. Plus, it's healthy to make your own food now. I'd rather make my own food at home than to go out and eat. I can go out to a club but not to go eat. I don't know. Because making food from scratch is healthier. You're making it so you know what you're putting in it and how you're making it. Other people, they're not going to consider you. Okay? Alright. So now we're going to add our meat to our dough. Yeah. By the way, I like the meat I was adding was a lot. So you don't have to add a lot of meat. Also, that also depends on how you like it. If you like your meat pie to have a lot of meat, then yeah. If it doesn't matter to you, then yeah. So basically just do you boo-boo. Just go crazy. Go crazy with it. And that, by the way, is just butter and egg. So I went ahead and cracked one large egg and melted and put it in the melted butter. Yeah. It helps it like stick, I guess. When you do that, it helps the dough stick to each other. You see, I'm using fork because I'm not Miss Fancy Pants over here. Yeah, that was a lot of meat in there. I'm fighting to close that up. See, it's coming out. That's what I said. But it's still, like, yeah, because the fork will help you close that shit up. But yeah, I'm going to clean it up, by the way. I don't like that. That's why I don't like put a lot of meat in there, I guess. Yeah, because then it gives you a hard time to close it up. That's me cleaning it up. I mean, it's me. I'm not going to throw it away. Got to put it back in there. I'm going to clean it up. Move on. And that's my camera guy, Juju. My personal camera guy. Alright. Like I said, butter and egg is what I use. Usually people use milk and egg, but I might try the milk and egg, but that was butter and egg. Just because I feel like as the butter melts, it's gonna, help the meat, the spice on the meat to evaporate into the dough and makes it taste better. But what do I know? So, yeah. By the way, when I put my meat in there, I usually see how I'm painting it down with my hands. Yeah, before using the fork, it helps to keep the meat in there. Yeah. So, do that too. Nice and fluffy. Like I said, I love the first ones that I made, the first batch, they were really choked up with the meat. The last batch, not so much. So, you gotta know, how you want your meat pie. Some people like it with a lot of meat. Some people don't like a lot of meat. So, it's just left for you on what you want to do and how you want your meat pie to be. Okay? Because I might like something and you might not. We all have things we stand and things we don't stand. By the way. Anyways, I find this very, very therapeutic. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm a weird person, so you might not. But just making food from scratch, it's amazing. It's knowing that you're putting all of your time and effort, and the people you love are gonna eat your food and be happy that you made it something. It's very, very fulfilling to me. Yeah, you gotta poke it so it helps it not burst or I don't know what it does, but you poke it. I remember in Liberian, you buy a meat pie, you gotta see the poke, So as we're making the Liberian meat pie, we gotta do whatever they do in Liberia. So yeah, I'm brushing it excess flour, but also that helps your meat pie looks golden on the top. The butter and egg helps it looks golden on the top. Yep, just keep doing that. It's my baby. Anyways. Yeah. And then you put it in the oven when you're done doing that. And voila, you have a beautiful meat pie. Very golden. See how it looks in that? Rich. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.